What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will talk about Liverpool being in talks to extend the contracts of Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Konate. First, let's talk about Mo Salah, whose contract runs out at the end of next season, and if Liverpool want to get any money for Mo Salah, then they might have to sell him next summer, which is coming up very soon, and Liverpool don't want to do that. Salah just reached 200 goals for Liverpool, a historic landmark which landed Salah in the top 5 goal scorers of all time at Liverpool, and he looks very happy, he looks very settled, so there is no reason for Salah to leave at the end of the season, and that's why Liverpool are in negotiations with Salah and his representatives to extend his contract. If you are happy about that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and we will talk about the massive injury problems that Manchester United have before their game on the weekend against Liverpool at Anfield, and also Man United are bottom of their Champions League group, and it was absolutely hilarious on Twitter seeing Mark Gobridge predicting that Manchester United will win the Champions League before the season began, and they haven't even qualified for the Europa League. They went out with a whimper, with an absolutely terrible performance, and Maguire was substituted with a muscle injury. Luke Shaw was substituted at halftime with another injury, and Man United already have a lot of players out, and Bruno Fernandes is suspended because of yellow cards. So it's still a very tricky game for Liverpool, and we will preview the Man United game later. But let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold next, because he needs to sign a new contract. Trent also has 2 years left on his contract, so Liverpool need to tie him down to a long-term contract, because you don't want Trent to feel underappreciated at Liverpool. He's one of our most important players. He's the best right back in the world, the best right back in the Premier League without question, and he's even improving his defending, but going forward he's absolutely terrific, and he's in red hot form this season lately. So I really hope that Liverpool will tie him down to a new contract, and he deserves whatever pay rise Liverpool are going to give him, because he has been absolutely brilliant. So Trent now should be earning like as much as Virgil van Dijk, in my opinion, in the Liverpool squad. And the third news is that Konate, whose contract still runs until 2026, so he has 2 more years after this season. The French news outlet Le Temps Sport is reporting that talks are underway with Konate and Liverpool's management to explore the possibility of further extending his stay at Anfield. The one problem with Konate is sometimes he gets injured, but hopefully he will be available for the most of the rest of the season. And also finally we saw Thiago in training and arriving at the training ground, AXA Training Center at Liverpool, which means that Thiago could be around 3 weeks, maybe a month away from joining the first team squad. And this Thiago injury has been very mysterious. It has been a hip injury, but I mean he has been out as long as if it was an ACL injury. But hopefully Thiago will be back for the second half of the season, which Liverpool fans have been absolutely buzzing about on social media, because to put Thiago into this title challenging Liverpool squad is like injecting it with even more quality, and I think in midfield we definitely need more options and more bodies. So the French outlet reports about Konate that because there is still plenty of time to run on his current deal, there is no urgency by Liverpool to renew Konate's contract, but Liverpool would nonetheless like to address his situation in the coming weeks. And if we extend Konate's contract earlier than Salah's contract or Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract, then those other 2 players, Trent and Salah, might feel annoyed or aggrieved, like they have a shorter contract than Konate, why aren't they getting new contract offers, contract extensions? And I mean the rumor is that they are getting new contract offers, but until there is a concrete offer by Liverpool on the table, Salah and Trent will look for any updates from Liverpool. And the move to tie down Konate, who is just 24 years old, he's one of the top talented centre-backs in Europe, and that would serve as both record recognition for the level shown by Konate since he joined Liverpool, and also that is a tactic by Liverpool to ward off potential suitors, because Paris Saint-Germain have been sniffing around Konate. You know, Konate is French, so any French player has a natural pull towards the capital Paris, and Paris Saint-Germain with their unlimited amounts of money and huge contracts that they can offer, and Champions League football of course they can offer. But still, I think Liverpool is a much better project than Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain is a money pit like Manchester United. They have been not as big a failure as Man United in the past 5 years, but the fact that they only made the Champions League final once, after investing so much money in the squad, after signing the best players in the world, Messi, Neymar, and they signed Mbappe as well, and to just have one Champions League final and 0 Champions League wins is a big failure by PSG standards compared to the money that they spent. Konate, since he joined Liverpool, he made 68 appearances in total, scoring 3 goals, and he established himself as one of the most promising talents and one of the most talented centre-backs in European football. This season, however, his involvement has been limited by muscle injuries, but Joao Matip, Gomez and Kwanzaa have all deputized for him. But now that Matip is out injured, we really heavily rely on Konate staying fit. Otherwise, it's either Gomez at centre-back or Kwanzaa at centre-back. They are both decent players, don't get me wrong, but they are not yet on the level of Konate. And Joe Gomez right now is playing both backup right back, backup left back, because Robertson is out injured, and also we don't have a backup right back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Gomez have to play 3 positions as backup is not really ideal in terms of how you set up your squad. But with Matip's season-ending ACL knee injury, that's what Liverpool find themselves in a position of. And Konate is from Paris, the suburbs of Paris. So he recently addressed these rumors linking him to Paris Saint-Germain. He gave an interview to a French news outlet Canal Plus, and he said, "If I see myself at Paris Saint-Germain, well, saying no would be lying to you. But to say that I'm considering it as an objective at the moment, not at all." But he maybe sees himself in a distant future at Paris Saint-Germain. So these foreign players who come to Liverpool, you can't really expect them to stay at Liverpool for all of their careers. Konate, surely when he's 28, 29 years old and wants one last big contract, then he would probably see Paris Saint-Germain as a really good option for himself. But until then, Liverpool should tie Konate down to a new contract and maybe extend his contract until 2027 or 2028. And then when he only has 1 year left on his contract, then maybe we can sell him off to Paris Saint-Germain for big money. That wouldn't be the worst case scenario in my opinion. And Liverpool are also thinking about recalling potentially Rhys Williams and Nat Phillips from their loan spells. Rhys Williams is on loan at Aberdeen, where he failed to make a single appearance in the Scottish League or in the Conference League or in the Europa League. He only played once in the Challenge Cup, which should be the Scottish Cup competition, and that's it. So Rhys Williams really not playing any games at Aberdeen. That serves nobody. So Liverpool could recall Rhys Williams just to try and loan him out again to actually a club who would play him maybe in the Championship. Nat Phillips, the situation is much better there. He has been playing 8 times already for Celtic, 6 times in the Scottish Premier League and twice in the Champions League. He even started played for Celtic, which is really good. So yeah, Nat Phillips played Nat Phillips played 62 minutes against Lazio at Celtic Park, and then he came on as a substitute against Atletico Madrid. But he only started twice in the Scottish Premier League, which is not a lot of games. And also recently when he started against Kilmarnock, Celtic lost actually 2-1, which was one of the biggest shocks of the season, because Celtic have been probably unbeaten until that point. But I also think that we will only recall Nat Phillips if there is really a big problem for Liverpool in terms of centre-back options. At the moment we still have Gomez, Konate and Kwanzaa available to play that second centre-back position next to Virgil van Dijk, and I really hope that Liverpool rest most, if not all, of their first team players against Union Saint-Gilloise, because that's really a game where Liverpool shouldn't really risk any of the first team players getting injured. We have already won the group. But Jurgen Klopp said something very interesting. He said, I'm really happy that we don't have to win in Belgium. That would have been a really tough situation. We will rotate. We always did rotate in the Europa League, that's clear. But in this moment in time, I have actually no clue how we will line up. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't know who will be available, who is ill, stuff like this. How often I make plans in my life from one day to another, knowing I could throw it in the bin. We will have a good team and a team who is ready to give Union a proper fight. That's all everybody can expect for us, and that's what we will do. It's good for a lot of things. It's good for rhythm. We have won the group already, but we want to have these 3 points anyway. Of course, Liverpool will always play to win any game, even if it's a meaningless friendly. Liverpool always go out to win, and Jurgen Klopp probably will play a competitive squad. But I want to see some of the young players who almost never play for Liverpool actually get a start in Europe and play in a hostile atmosphere, a really good atmosphere at Union Saint-Gilloise. They are leading the Belgian league, so that will be a really good test for the Liverpool youngsters, how they can handle this really tough European away game. And Union need to win to go through, so I think this will be a really good test for Liverpool youngsters. And what absolutely blows my mind is Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has now won games in the 90th minute more times than Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. And considering that Ferguson was at Man United for 21 years, he won 13 Premier League titles, and yet Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool have won more games in the 90th minute than Manchester United. And it was really famous, the Fergie time as they called it. You know, referees always giving enough stoppage time to Manchester United so they would win it in the last minute. And yet Liverpool have won more times under Jurgen Klopp than Man United, which is really, really remarkable. And also, Jurgen Klopp has been at Liverpool for 8 years, so less than half the years that Man United was managed by Sir Alex Ferguson. And also what is crazy to me is that in the Premier League, of course, Liverpool have the most stoppage time winners in the Premier League history, but literally like 35 or 40% of those came on the Jurgen Klopp. And considering that the Premier League started in 1992, so more than 20 years, and yet Jurgen Klopp has been manager 8 years, so it's a really, really remarkable that Jurgen Klopp almost has like half of the late winners in the Premier League of Liverpool, which is absolutely fantastic. And finally, let's talk about the Liverpool-Man United game. So Man United probably will have Maguire and Luke Shaw missing from the team because they sustain injuries, and you know, muscle injuries, they don't heal in 3 or 4 days. And to add insult to injury, they haven't even qualified to the Europa League. They haven't been through to the Champions League knockout stages. I mean, from this group where they had Galatasaray and Copenhagen, the Danish champions. I mean, Man United have 10 times the resources of Galatasaray and probably like 15 times the resources of Copenhagen, and still they finished bottom of the group. It's fine that they lost to Bayern Munich home and away, but to get 4 points from 4 games against Galatasaray and Copenhagen is absolutely shambolic. It's disgraceful, and Man United fans should be absolutely fuming. If Man United came bottom of a group of Dortmund, AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain, you could excuse that. But they came out bottom of a group of Bayern Munich, Copenhagen and Galatasaray. Absolutely embarrassing. And they already have Lisandro Martinez injured, Victor Lindelof, so 2 centre-backs plus Maguire, that's 3 centre-backs. Malacia and Luke Shaw are injured now, so 2 full-backs are injured, so that's 5 defenders. They have Christian Eriksen, Casemiro and Mason Mount injured, plus Bruno Fernandes suspended, so 4 midfielders are injured or not available for the game, plus they have Jadon Sancho suspended because of disciplinary issues, because of his fallout with Erik ten Hag. Surely when you are this desperate to get any fit players on the pitch, surely Ten Hag should reconcile with Jadon Sancho, who has immense talent, but maybe not the work rate, not the attitude that a top professional should have. But surely when you are this desperate and you are hanging on to your job by the skin of your teeth, surely you should reconcile with Jadon Sancho and call him back into the squad, because he could actually help you. Man United had to win against Bayern Munich to have any chance to go through, and they had one shot on target, and they didn't even risk anything. They didn't even go out with a fight. They didn't even go out all guns blazing. They went out literally with a whimper. They were playing like a team who would go through if they didn't lose by 4 goals. They were just defending against Bayern Munich and literally like not really attacking. Not at any point in the game did Man United look like scoring. And that is a damning verdict. And this is a very dangerous situation because everybody expects Liverpool to absolutely smash Man United. But when, that happens, usually something strange happens. That's how football works sometimes. So I'm still nervous about the Man United game. But if we go with our 100% attitude and application and intensity, then we should beat Man United because we are just so much better than them in every department, especially now that Man United have so many injuries. So come on Liverpool, let's beat Man United on the weekend, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the kids on Thursday against Union Saint-Gilloise to see what they can do. And even if we lose, just give the kids some playing time and experience, and that will let them grow and mature and get some very, very, very valuable experience. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this, have a nice day, see you later, goodbye.